Hello, Metalheads out there. Michael Poulsen from SM Hill and Volbeat. I'll just go through some vinyls that I bought lately that I highly want to recommend. I did buy a lot of records on my phone that I still need to buy on vinyl. They're on the way. I can later make a video about that. But, the video can't be that long. So, I'm not going to review any albums or go into many details because I'm not a reviewer. I just like to recommend a lot of records. And even though that I mostly listen to the late 80s, early 90s death metal, death thrash, grindcore, hardcore stuff, I do believe that there's a lot of new great bands out there that deserves a lot of credit, releasing a lot of great, strong records. So let's talk a little bit about that. Before we do that, let's get to the old timers first. The new Autopsy, what a great album. One of my all-time favorite death metal bands. Buy it. And Static Abyss, while we were talking about Chris Reifert, great death metal record. And the Mighty Obituary, their new album, what a great album. Don't need any introduction. Legendary, you know what you're gonna get. Mighty Obituary. Same goes for Sadus, their new record. Old school death thrash. They're not as fast as they were on some of their early releases, but they don't have to. When the riffing are so strong as it is on this album, it doesn't matter. What a great album. And Darren Travis sounds amazing as always on his vocals. Strong record. So what else do we have? Reverence to Paroxysm, doom death metal from Mexico. Excuse me. Really good. I was very surprised and blown away by this Japanese band, Pharmacist. Look at this. How about that? Great death metal, grindcore, very much inspired by Carcass and Death. Putrid Yell. Look at this cover. How great is that? From Chile. Yeah, old school death metal and very much inspired by Entomb. They definitely got that bassar guitar sound and, kind of the voice of the legendary Phantom. Great record. Actually also you can hear that early Asphyx inspiration in that. Great record. Left Cross, you probably know those guys. They have been releasing a lot of records and I'm still very surprised they're from the US because they so much sound like a band from Sweden or UK. Very good old school death metal. Dripping Decay. Look at this from the US. Look at the cover, man. Death metal grindcore. Very much inspired by Carcass, Death, Autopsy, and the voice kind of remind me of early Chuck Schuldiner from Death. The record Scream Bloody Gore. Amazing album. Very strong album. The Grave from the US. Great death metal. And what do we have? Worm-Eaten Corpse Grindcore. Pretty much says it all, huh? Look at this. Ew. Very strong record. Here we go. Coffin Mulch. Look at this. This is one of the records that I've been listening to a lot. A great band from the UK, old school death metal. Definitely very much into both Roar, Dismember kind of inspiration. Highly recommend it. What else? Well, I got some good friends in Copenhagen who have their own record stores and label. Got one of my good friends called David. He has his own label and store called Extreme Rotten Production. He's also the front guy in Undergang. You probably know those great Danish guys. Very dirty, disgusting death metal from Denmark. Love it. David also released on his label Extreme Rotten Production. Melform from Finland. Some young guys who knows how to play old school death metal. Very strong album. David also released some of the early recordings with Mortiferium. I actually think this is their best work. Great release, David. And some of David's other releases is a Danish band called The Corticate. Very much inspired by Napalm Death. They're doing so good. I was totally blown away. Very strong record. And another Danish band by Extreme Rotten Production. I'll probably say this is my favorite Danish release of this year. There you go, Boiler. And I think they call it black and death metal sludge or something. They're probably right. Today the genres, I can't keep up with it. When I was listening to and playing metal way back many years, it was just metal. You had death metal or thrash metal, heavy metal or heavy rock. That was pretty much just speed metal. But check this out. It's probably my favorite Danish release of this year. Another good friend that I have in Copenhagen, Menne, who got his own record store and a record company called Metalheads Records. Secrecy from Sweden, also very much inspired by Napalm Death. Very surprising record, never heard of them, from Sweden. I love it, very strong album that I'm gonna listen to a lot. Another release from Menne is a Danish band called Flow. There you go. Hardcore, they kind of mix it with black metal. They're doing it very good. I think they're best, the black metal elements are very slow, doomy, melodic, but I think they're great when they're really intense and aggressive, and they're that most of the time. Really strong record. Singer kind of reminds me of the singer of King Parrot or something. Very good, strong record. I think that was pretty much it. No, so you already know my favorite Danish release of this year, but overall the best release of this year for me gotta be Sonic Poison from from Finland. Look at this cover. Death Grind, definitely inspired by Napalm Death, Repulsion, maybe even some early Slayer. Love the dirty sound of this record, and I really love the singer. He could probably be in any metal, hardcore, punk band. Check him out. They're very strong. I believe there's one guy in this band who also in Scum River. Very strong record as well. Sometimes remind me of one of the best records that I bought in a long time, Black Curse. But maybe we can talk about Black Curse a little bit later. That's it for now. What else? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and see you out there on the road with us in Hell in 24. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.